guys, so Modelones sent me some nail goodies to play around with today. I believe these are both of their holiday dip collection and their holiday gels. So they were so kind and sent me over the dip kit and then the gels. So I'm just going to show you the colors real quick. I'm showing you the swatches first. The first one I showed, I'm pretty sure, is the clear, which I love that they include a clear. The second one here is a traditional Christmas red. The next one here is this really gorgeous hollow fine silver glitter base, and then it has these holographic little stars in them. I love when companies put shaped glitters in their dip. It's just so much fun. So this one here is a solid, not green, not blue shade, which I love because y'all know how I feel about solid greens. At least that foresty solid green. I just can't do it. So here is a fine green glitter that kind of matches that greenish blue solid. And then it has some little silver glitter pieces in it. And then here we have a, I want to say this leans more towards yellow gold. And then it has some little color shifting glitters in there. So those are the dip colors. And then for the gels, this one here is Gift Socks. Not sure if you can see just how gorgeous this red glitter gel is, but it is stunning. So pretty. That really nice traditional like red Christmassy glitter. This one here is Jingle Bell. I don't really know how to describe this. It's kind of gold, but it's like super micro shimmer to it. It's really pretty, but it leans darker than the traditional gold shade. So this one here, Edelweiss, however you say it, it's the white. Traditional, snowy, bright, perfect white. This one here is Christmas Tree. Now this is that shade of green that I cannot rock as a full nail, as a full mani. It just, if you noticed, as soon as I held it up to my hand, it just really brought out the yellow undertone in my skin tone. Just not for me, but I'm gonna use it for some nail art. So this one here is Glitter Night. I love that glitter. It's not a black base. It's more like a violet, like a deep purple base to it. And then it has those gorgeous glitters. This one here is such a pretty like cherry red, called Santa Claus, of course. So they did also send me over their gel base and top. So I'm going to actually use those in my video today. I'm using my Modelones liquids. The dip powders that they sent did come with like a little set of what I will call travel liquids. They're those real small, tiny plastic bottles. And I meant to use them in this video, but I kind of pre-recorded my little unboxing and I totally forgot about them. But I did use them to do my swatches. They work just fine. So there's that. But I'm going to use my Modelones liquids. I've been using these for months now. You guys know I love them. I actually just went and ordered a couple more sets just because they are so affordable. They're like less than 20 bucks. Less than 20 bucks. So I will leave links to everything I'm using down below. I do have a affiliate code for Modelones. So if you do purchase using my code, I will receive a small commission, little something something. So the dip powders technically are Azure, which is a small company that Modelones also sells on their website. So the dip powders are Azure, and then the gel polishes are, of course, Modelones. So I'm going to do a little 2-in-1 mani. I was dying to use this red. It's so pretty. I've been really into reds lately. I guess it's just the holidays in me. And then I really wanted to use that silver glitter, the silver glitter with those holographic stars in there. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do some nail art with the gel polishes. So I'm going to go ahead, get this red on my nails. I'm going to let you guys watch, and I'll be back. So I just wanted to pop back in here real quick because you're going to see the rookie mistake that I just made. But I wanted to hop back in and tell you guys what you're about to see is not a fault of this dip powder. It is truly user error. So first of all, I'm going to brush off. No staining whatsoever in this red. I was super impressed, but look what I did. I did not give my base enough time to dry before I wiped off, but all I'm going to do is just reapply my base and just dip right back in. So if you've ever had this happen before, I know some people think that they have to like soak off around their cuticles and get that bit that didn't brush off. You don't need to do that. Just add some more base and fill it in, because you're going to do buffing and filing after. So if you were to get any lumps or bumps from that situation happening, you can always file and buff it away. I actually didn't have any lumps or bumps from it. Pigment was good enough to where it's still fully covered in the 2 dips, and by the time I was done, you could not even tell that I made that oopsie. It happens. I was just, I don't know, I was impatient, and I should have known better than to brush off that fast. So I'm just going in, doing my second dip here in this gorgeous red. This red is so, so pretty. I have been actually really impressed with the Azure powders. You guys know I did a video like this not too long ago. Modelones sent me some other Azure powders to try out, and I believe I used their black, and I was super impressed with the pigmentation in it. It didn't stain, and the same goes for this red. I didn't have any staining whatsoever. Usually higher pigmented colors will stain. It doesn't and if they do stain, it doesn't mean that it's a bad powder and you shouldn't use it. It's just some brands stain, some don't. So I was really impressed with these. The powders are super soft, softer than I honestly thought that they would be. They remind me a bit of Panda Dips actually with the consistency. It's just a really fine, creamy dip powder. So I really like them. So now I'm gonna hush, turn the music back up for you, and I'll be back. Alright, so I got my red dips done, and now I'm going to go ahead and clear cap. I am not using the clear that came in the kit just because I used that in my last kind of review, so I feel like I've already tried out that clear. As you can see, the red did stain my brush ever so slightly, but once your brush, you know, goes back in your bottle and sits for a while, that pigment off the brush will kind of just trickle down into the bottom of your base bottle. So to me, that's not a huge deal. However, the clear I am actually using Modelones clear. I got this off of Amazon not too long ago. I usually use the Mia Secret clear, and when I went to order more clear, I couldn't find it, but Modelones clear popped up, so I was like, let me try this one out. It was a big tub of clear, so I just pour it into a cupcake liner, just a little bit, just enough to clear cap my nails, and then afterwards I just sit my whole cupcake liner on one of my shelves in my nail desk. That way I can just use it later on instead of having to keep filling up cupcake liners full of clear. So I like to obviously apply my base, dip into my clear, and then just pat the clear into my dips. I've been doing that for a while now. I think it helps with reducing those kind of clear bubbles, those clear spots that you get sometimes in your dip powder. It's mainly more noticeable over darker shades. So if you have an issue with that, maybe just try pressing the clear into the dip. I think it helps it absorb the powder a little bit quicker. But I also like pressing it because when you go around with the orange wood stick or your toothpick, whatever you use, it kind of gives you, you know, that gap there. So I like to press the clear in and fill in that little gap because I don't like having a gap in between my cuticle and my dip powder, because that's when, you know, it can get snagged on your hair or whatever your nails get snagged on. So I'm going to finish up clear capping these red nails. I'm going to go ahead and activate. I did want to mention real quick, because I know some people don't do the whole clear cap everything situation. I like to. For one, it protects my color when I go to file and buff, but also it protects your activator brush, because certain colors will stain your activator brush. Like if I was doing white on my nails and I activated my red nails and then my white nails, there is a good chance that the red is going to transfer from my activator brush onto my white nails. Granted, I would always activate white first, but I'm just trying to give you a little example. So I am going to go ahead and finish up my activator. I'm going to pour that glitter with the stars into a cupcake liner just to make it easier to apply, because it does have those chunky star pieces. So I'm just going to pour it in my cupcake liner, going to stir it around a little bit. I was trying to show you the stars in there. They're so cute, and they really are super thin. I didn't have any issues with getting them to lay flat whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead, just stir up the powder just because it is a finer glitter. And then you just want to shake your cupcake liner a bit, and that will bring those heavier glitters to the top. If you want more, you can shake it a little bit more. But I'm going to go ahead, do 2 dips, and then I'm going to just place any additional stars where I want them to be on my nail. I do go ahead and switch over to my dip top coat whenever I do glitter, just because y'all know by now I am a gel top coat kind of girl. And whenever I buy a dip liquid set, I always use the base for solid dips and then the top coat for shimmers and glitters. So you kind of get like, you know, 2 bottles of base for the price of 1 set. So that is just what I like to do. I do also have a separate bottle of activator for shimmers and glitters. It's just an OCD thing. It drives me crazy if I get a glitter in a solid nail, which is why I also go ahead and activate all my solid nails first before I apply my glitters, because if you activate them first and then apply your glitter, if any glitter were to get on those solid color nails, you can just brush it right off. It's not going to stick and be with you forever. So I'm going to go ahead, finish up. Well, I'm not finishing up quite yet, but I'm going to let you guys watch as I do my 2 dips in this gorgeous silvery hollow goodness. I'm going to do my little placement, cap and clear, activate, all that good stuff, and I'll be back. I did for my glitter placement was I just applied a thin coat of base to my nail and just used my toothpick to pick up the extra little stars that I wanted. And since my nail still is wet from the base, I just go ahead and dip it into clear and use this kind of as a technique to really press those chunkier glitters down. That's just how I like to get them to lay flat. But these weren't really super chunky. They were nice and thin. I just had to push down the ones that kind of got like on my free edges of my nails, just because my nails have a pretty strong C curve, so sometimes getting those chunkier glitters to lay flat can sometimes be a little bit difficult. So now I'm going to go in and do my full dips of clear. You especially want to clear cap over any kind of glitter you do, just because colored, I mean, honestly, this glitter probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal just because it's already silver, but I did want to keep the whole holographic effect, and silver glitters on the inside are silver. So if you were doing like a blue chunky glitter and you don't clear cap and you go to file and buff, you're probably, when you're done your nails, you're going to be like, these glitters were blue when I started, now they're silver. That is because you didn't cap in clear, and when you file and buff, you're actually cutting into those glitters and revealing the silver that is within those glitters. So I'm going to clear cap, I'm going to activate file and buff off camera, and then we're going to get into some nail art. So stay tuned and I'll be back. So my filing and shaping is all done, and now I'm going to pull out the gel base and top coat that Modelones sent over to me, and I am going to pull out the base. I actually really like these bottles. I think the little block handles make them a little bit easier to hold and control. So here are the gel polishes that I pulled out that I want to use for my nail art. I do end up pulling out Jingle Bell too, which is that super fine, I'm going to say like a dark gold glitter color. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the gel base coat. This is a thin consistency gel, and the brush really does hold a lot of product on there. So I'm trying to get the smallest amount on my brush, just because you don't want to flood your cuticles. And I'm just going to apply a thin coat to my ring and my index, because I'm going to do some nail art on those nails. I've really been missing doing actual, real, like freehand nail art. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's super easy. Anyone can do it. So easy, just you wait and see. So I'm finishing up applying my base, and then I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. I have a 72-watt lamp that I get off of Amazon, so stuff cures super fast. So for me, gel base I can cure in 30 seconds, and gel color is 30, and then top coat and builder gel is a minute. So really super quick. So I got my base gel on. Now I'm just going to take my nail art palette. I will leave mine linked for you down below. Also get my nail art palette from Amazon. I get everything from Amazon. So I'm going to put a little dot of white down. I'm going to put a little dot of green down, which is that Christmas tree. Don't get me wrong, I love this shade of green. I actually think it's very pretty. It just does not look right on my skin tone, which makes me so mad. I feel like some people think that I just hate green. I don't hate it. I think the color is gorgeous. It just does not look right on me. I love this color. So for nail art, it does work because I can do little pops of green. I don't know how to explain it. I just can't have like the green at my cuticle area or around my sidewalls, because that's when it brings out my funky olive undertone skin tone, and just it doesn't work. So I'm just taking a dotting tool. If you don't have a dotting tool, use a toothpick. You don't have to buy a dotting tool to do this. And I'm just gonna do dots. I'm just reversing the colors, white, green, white. I wanted to start with white and end with white also. So I'm gonna do like 4 dots at a time and then flash cure, just because gel polish sometimes can be a little bit thin. So it'll run a little bit if you don't kind of flash cure in between. Also, the angle I have my finger, there's a chance it would run with it being like that also. So I'm just doing a couple little dots, just doing like a quick 3-second flash cure, just to get it to the point where it's not going to move around on me too much. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do some dots. I don't know, my grandmother used to have these glass candy cane like ornaments for her tree, and I think that kind of inspired this because she had a bunch of green and white ones. I don't know, I just thought they were so cute. And you can go ahead and leave the candy cane just with the dots, which now I kind of wish that I would have just left the polka dot candy cane. But either way, I like the way it turned out. But I end up just going around with the jingle bells, the glitter, and kind of outlining it. So I'm gonna let you guys watch and I'll be back. So when you get your design the way that you want, go ahead and cure that for a full 30 seconds in your lamp. I love using gel polish for nail art now because you can cure as you go, and then if you mess up, you can just wipe it with alcohol, and everything that you've previously cured is going to stay intact. So I've put a little bit of that gold glitter polish down on my nail art palette, and I'm just taking my real fine bamboo sticks that I use to clean up my cuticles, and I'm just going around the design and just outlining it. You could do this with black. I was gonna do it with black at first, and then I remembered that I had this gold glitter color. I will say the outlining was actually super easy because the design, it doesn't raise like a whole bunch to where it's noticeable, but it's enough to where when you're tracing it, you can just feel around where that raisedness, if that's a word, where that is, and just go with the flow of where your dots are. So I'm going to go ahead, outline this, cure for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to do some candy canes, but a little different style on my ring finger. So keep on watching, and I'll be back. so moving on to my ring finger, I'm going to do the same candy canes, like the same way I did them. I'm just going to use my little toothpick just to make them smaller because I want to do 2 candy canes on this nail. These, however, I'm not going to go ahead and outline. I'm just going to leave them the way that they are. So I know it's a little hard to see just because they're so small little dots, but and I love that toothpicks are double-sided because I could just do the white on one end, flip it around, and do the green. But I do want to point out that every once in a while you want to wipe your toothpick off just because the gel will kind of build up on there, and you want your dots to all relatively be the same size. I apologize if you hear snoring in the background. This puppy does not leave my side ever. I can't do anything without, now I have 2 shadows, my older dog and now the puppy. I never get free time. So I'm going to go ahead, finish up my candy canes. I am curing these dots in between too, just quick, like for these, I think I only flash cured these for like 3 seconds just because they are so small. I did mess up a little bit on this candy cane, so you're going to see how I just wipe that off here in a minute. I think it was just the angle that I had my finger at. The candy cane just kept wanting to go towards my middle finger. I had to keep like taking off and redoing it, and every time I did it, it just kept going that way, like it had a mind of its own. So I end up just kind of putting my hand flat on top of my bottle holder that I just flip upside down. Everybody asks me where I get my hand rests from for, you know, when I'm doing my dip. It's just a bottle holder from the nail prop shop. I just flip it upside down and use the flat surface to balance my hand. But here you see, I just took a little alcohol wipe and just wiped off those dots that I didn't like. Some of them were too big. They were going inward. Just one big fan. So I went ahead and just put my hand over my bottle holder, and I'm going to finish up my candy canes. Then I'm going to go ahead, do the other one, and cure for 30 seconds. I'll let you watch, and I'll be back. So I went ahead and did my other candy cane off camera just to save you guys a little bit of time. You already saw me do it twice. And then I went ahead and applied another coat of gel base just to the corners of my nails there. And I applied one of the stars from the dip powder. So now I'm just going to go ahead with my top coat, my gel top coat. As you can see, I really actually like these brushes. The edge of them are kind of curved like how the gels were, so it does really do a good job of getting right at your cuticle area, but you do want to make sure that you don't have a whole lot on your brush just because it is a thinner consistency and you don't want it to run into your cuticles. So I'm just going to get my gel top coat applied on all of my nails, get it cured for 60 seconds, and then I will be back to show you the final look. right, so I went ahead and cured those for 60 seconds, and here is the final mani. I'm not sure if I should have did those stars on the corner of the red nails. They're not really sticking up or anything. I don't know if they really work with the candy canes, but it was a fun mani to do. I miss doing nail art so much. I need to do some more. So here are the swatches of the dip colors that they sent to me. That one is definitely clear. It is a little cloudy, but I did use it over black dip in my last video, and I didn't have an issue. I didn't have any cloudiness or spots on my nails. There's the red that we did and the silver with those hollow stars. I love that dip so much. I think it's just so fun and cute. And those are definitely colors you can pretty much wear anytime. They don't really scream Christmas to me. The gels do a little bit more. So these are the swatches of the gels. So I will leave links to the dip powder kit and the gel set down below for you guys if you want to pick them up for yourself. Here is the finished mani. I'm going to go ahead and apply my Candy Skincare Cuticle Oil as usual. I'm really obsessed with this one scent that came in one of the monthly subscriptions. It's like a cranberry punch. It smells so freaking good. So gonna get that all rubbed in, and here is our finished mani. So leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.